What's working with all women? Much different than working with guys.
Working with a bunch of girls. I've done it for 22 years, and so I'm just pretty much used to it.
Coaching women with the difference with coaching guys is coaching guys, you're always convincing them that their idea might not be the right one.
I grew up with obviously a mom and two older sisters who were both athletes, so I've been around female athletes my whole life.
The great thing about coaching women is that they're willing to be coachable and do whatever you ask them to do. However, women are always way too hard on themselves.
They're great. I love my team. Well, we don't talk a lot about how many games we want to win and that sort of thing. Our goal is to do the process of getting better every day. And we feel like if we do the process of incremental improvements day after day, that wins are a byproduct of doing the process right. And so obviously we want to be a playoff team.
My favorite thing is that we are all so different but so alike in that we are so crazy.
Our team dynamics can be summed up with the word goofy. If you take yourself too seriously on this team, it's going to be a long season.
Girls, it's time for practice. Let's rock.
We're always joking around, but we're also very hard workers, and when practice comes around and we know Herbie is serious about practice, we all become very focused and very hard workers.
They're beating themselves up, and so what I'm constantly doing is telling them, you are awesome, you are spectacular. Believe my brain, not your brain. Go be all you can be, because you are not doing poorly at all. And it's in some ways it's very easy coaching them. Just give them belief. And my dad gave me this piece of advice long before I ever knew I was going to be a teacher. He said the greatest gift you can give another human being is the gift of trust. And I think that really plays itself out well when coaching women. You give them trust, you give them belief, and they will go and astonish themselves and everyone else.
I've been here 10 years, and when I started, we were in last place in a conference where 4 teams have really traditionally dominated, and to see us evolve over 10 years to a point where 3 of the last 5 years we've been 5th, so we're kind of become in the conversation for being one of those better teams in the league.
We did things last year that no Bethel women's basketball team has ever done in 50 years. We beat Concordia twice, and they were the conference champions, so we beat them twice.
And just seeing that we're making that steady progress is probably the highlight for me, and all the time and effort that not just one team, but 10 years worth of teams have put in to help us get there.
We went up to St. Ben's, beat St. Ben's for only the second time in women's basketball history up at St. Ben's, and beat 2 other national qualifying teams and held them down to 8 points, I believe, in 12 minutes in the end of the game. So it was a great defensive season.
Our team has always surprised people. I think we get underestimated year after year.
Yeah, I think once we get going and get our feet under us, we'll be good.
Yeah, it might be rough at the beginning, but once everyone kind of gets how the team's gonna work offensively and defensively, strategy-wise, I think we'll have a really good year and we could surprise a lot of people.
And every year we shock people. We win games that we're not supposed to win, and we always end on a good note. I mean, there's been seasons where we didn't make playoffs, but we've had success overall in the years I've been here.
I've spent 22 years coaching. I started my career at my alma mater, Gustavus, as an assistant for 3 years. And then I spent 2 years as the assistant at Wayne State in Nebraska. And after 2 years there, got my first head coaching job at the University of Sioux Falls and spent 3 years there, and then became the head coach at Cornell, where I was for 5 years. And then now I've been here the last 10. So.
Left Bethel, I graduated from Bethel here, and I went and I started teaching at a school called Meadow Creek Christian High School. And there I started the track program. I was the head track coach for 8 years, started with 8 people and got to 53. That was my first experience coaching women. and found out that they really like to please the coach if you're not too hard on them, and that was a different thing from guys. I was also the assistant boys basketball coach there, and then for 4 years I was the head boys coach, and I had a great bunch of guys. We were undefeated in the conference for 3 straight years, #1 seed in the subsection for 3 straight years, and held teams that were in the top 20 to 2 points and a half of basketball once. So it was a great bunch of Christian guys to coach, and it was a fun place to be.
The coaches are a unique breed. Herbie's very intense, but also very caring. I never will question his passion for the game. Dwight is the most unique person I know. He brings an energy that is so rare, and I think that it is like so critical to our success that we don't even realize it sometimes. And Coach Ryder, he's our new coach. He's great. He's very soft-spoken, but he's so wise, and I have a lot of respect for him.
I like the coaches. They're all very different, but together they work well. Like Herbie, tough on us, but has a good side to him. Dwight, always upbeat, and Steve, soft-spoken. Just together, they're perfect. Yeah.
Well, obviously Taylor Sheely. She's a 3-year all-conference player, on pace to get her 1,000 points.
We have about 1,000 points. How do you feel about that?
And really do some special things. And we're going to count very heavily on her this season.
Scored 1,000 points. I'm going to be so excited. I didn't really think it was something that was feasible.
Taylor Sheely. She is quite the girl.
Yeah, I don't know about her.
And now that it's kind of here, I'm like, wow, like that's cool. I'm excited about it. It's not that big of a deal though.
No, we love Taylor. Yeah. She's one of our favorite. She's our favorite captain. Like, she's hands down favorite senior. We love her. She's great.
Yeah.
She was spectacular at the end of the season. In the playoffs, she really stepped up when the rest of the team was down in the last game.
And then after her, Kelly Swenson is a returning starter from last year and has really evolved into one of the better defensive players in the league.
Kelly Swenson, our junior, is one of the best defensive guards in the conference, maybe the region. She held almost every player she guarded to single digits, so she's going to be a huge contributor.
And I look for her to take a real step forward offensively this year. And then our other returners, Christy Nye, who was a starter 2 years ago, coming off an ACL, will be back, and we're going to need big things from her. And then Alicia Montbrand and Nicole Berscheid will be very important players for us in their sophomore seasons.
3-6 by sinking this three-pointer.
Here is Sheely for 3 in the lead, and it's good!
Followed by a three-pointer in the few remaining seconds to pull Bethel within 6 at 45 apiece with a jumper by Christy Nye, starting with this steal and layup.
She'll take it all the way in and score the bucket.
Well, Dwight Nelson has been with me for 8 years, and quite frankly, Meadow Creek's loss was our gain. He was a longtime high school coach there, but in their opinion couldn't win the big game, and they let him go after 6 seasons, 3 undefeated seasons in conference play, but lost to go to the state tournament 3 years in a row, and he's been with me ever since. And 8 years with him, he has become somebody we can truly, trust and rely on. If I got hit by a bus, we wouldn't miss a beat tomorrow at practice. So he's been great for us. And then we have Steve Ryder, who has been added to the team this year. He will be another assistant coach and then also the head coach of the JV. And Steve is 30-some years coaching experience in the Minnesota Girls Basketball Coaches Hall of Fame, took 9 teams to the state tournament. So he's pretty qualified to coach our junior varsity. So
being a captain on this team is so fun. There's a lot more responsibility with it. I'm not just a little kid anymore who can get away with anything, but I get so much support from everyone, including the freshmen. Everyone's willing to step up, and yet like this is the only team I'd ever want to lead. They're so fun, they're so goofy, but they're so focused and hardworking, and we all get along so great. It makes my job very easy. Being a senior on this team is the like funnest but like suckiest thing ever. I don't want to leave. I've had the best experience here, and this team, like this year, is going to be so hard to leave. It'll be an awesome season, but a really rough end. Like I won't want to